All right, I guess we are live. Okay, now welcome to this is a free workshop that I'm actually doing this for beginners. If you're new to Facebook ads and you are asking this question, how to start Facebook advertising right in this year, this is the workshop that I want to really create for you to help you walk through a few important things about Facebook advertising. And of course, if you are a seasoned Facebook advertiser, if you have been advertising on Facebook for a while, and welcome to join as well. And if you have any questions at all, this is also very useful. If you have been advertising for a while, you want to actually look for some updates, this will be useful for you. And essentially, I'm going to walk through a few, like what do we call best practices, things you should avoid doing, things you should be doing, and stuff like that. And because to be frank, at this point of time, as we are entering like 2022, the second half of 2022, and entering the 2023 now, Facebook advertising is no longer the same as many years back. Back then, running ads is actually okay. Everybody can actually start. But now, as more and more advertisers are coming into the market, I think you should be starting to look at how can you actually build a strategy that works. And that's something that I want to address towards the end of this workshop. So feel free, if there's any questions at all, feel free to pop your question. Hi, GY, what's up? If you're watching the replay, I want you to know that this is actually a live training, but it's okay. If you're watching the replay, you miss nothing at all. And without further ado, I'm just going to dive right in, right? So the workshop is called How to Start Facebook Advertising Right in 2022. So we're going to go through some very important do's and don'ts. However, I just want to quickly kickstart with, probably telling you, if you're new to me, then you'll be asking, who the hell is this guy? Why should I be listening to him, right? What have this guy done, and why should I trust him? So just a real quick, who's Jason Gan? I'm a Facebook ad strategy since 2010. Okay, actually since 2010, I started my own agency in 2010. And I run the agency until 2020. That's the time when I decided to fully pivot into training and coaching. And that's the time where we started to work with a lot more, Facebook advertisers from all around the world. In fact, I started training, in 2016, but it was all physical training. Okay, and because of the pandemic in 2020, we had to pivot into really into fully digital, fully virtual. And because of that, I get to work with people from all around the world. Currently, my students and coaching clients came from 30 over countries. In fact, I think it's already like 40 over countries, but yeah, 6,000 over of them. It's really a blessing to be able to work with so many cool people around the world. Oh, I can see a lot of good friends are here. What's up, Doris? Hi, how are you? And Bob is here. Wow. Okay, thanks for joining me. Thanks for supporting. So so basically this is what I am, and this is what I've done in the past. And just for those who are into certifications, I'm a Meta Blueprint certified professional since 2017. So this is what, in order to stay certified, we need to take exams every year, actually, essentially, just to stay certified. So this certifies our qualification and our knowledge about, Facebook advertising. And I'm into planning and buying. So that's what we do. And I'm also a Meta business partner, which I actually got this when I was running my agency. But then again, even though, you see, the interesting part is this. Some people ask me, Jason, when you stop running your agency, isn't that limiting your opportunities to learn? Okay, isn't that slowing down your learning? And how can you be, capable of training and coaching people, some more, because you're no longer in touch. In fact, it's actually the opposite. Why? Because I stopped taking managing cases, as in managing Facebook ads campaign. It actually frees up my time and energy to work with more people, because as I'm coaching them, I am not hands-on, and that allows me to work with, actually essentially more people. So I just want to quickly bring you into my, this is my ads manager, and I'm coming into my, okay, this is my, what do we call, partner center. Okay, as a Meta business partner, we have this partner center where it says, it gives us some recommendations about what we should be doing and all that. So this is what I am actually, this is not what I spend, okay, essentially, because I work with a lot of clients from all around the world, and a lot of them are actually big spenders. So this is the amount, okay, that all the ads account that park under my business manager have spent in the last 6 months. This is a 180 days overview over here. So accumulating all the ad accounts that are part under my business manager, which means they are my clients. Essentially coaching clients, because we work together. So they park their business manager. They actually tie their ads manager to my business manager as a partner, so that I'm able to like look into their campaigns from time to time and give them recommendations about what they should be doing to improvise their campaign. So actually we reduced already. I think a couple of weeks ago we were actually reaching 1 million, but yeah, but this is essentially US dollar. In the last 6 months, my clients have spent almost $1 million in Facebook advertising. So that's the kind of amount that I am overseeing, okay, and I'm advising clients that are really spending big. I'm not doing this to brag, but actually just want to give you guys some idea about, the opportunities that I'm actually having to work with different people, different clients from all around the world. In fact, it actually gives me more, opportunities to learn and expose myself to so much more different situations and, challenges. All right. So that's how I actually learn all this and put together into something that we can learn together over here in my training, my coaching sessions and stuff like that. So that's my partner center, just to go through that real quick. So let's dive back into what we're supposed to discuss today. Okay. So today we're going to talk about how to start Facebook ads the right way. So starting Facebook ads is no longer like last time, to be frank. Back then, it was very easy because everybody can just create a Facebook ad account or Facebook account, Facebook profile, and start advertising on Facebook, creating ads account and all that. But nowadays, we know there are a lot of different situations. So I believe a lot of you probably have encountered some situations where you got disabled, you got banned. So this is where we want to actually tackle this head on, right? Immediately, there are a few do's that I want you to take into consideration. Now, first thing first, if you want to start running ads on Facebook, start with Meta Business Manager. And Meta Business Manager is not Business Suite. Now, let me quickly walk you through about the difference over here. Now, if you go to business.facebook.com now, okay, this is where you go in, right? If you go to business.facebook.com, okay, you will be landing on the Meta Business Suite that looks like this. Okay, so this is the Meta Business Suite. Okay, it's crazy. Like, this is Meta Business Suite, and people will be asking, what am I doing here? Okay, well, you actually can manage notifications, your inbox. This is where you manage, like conversations. And there is an ad here. That means you can run ads here, right? Yes, but it's not the same as the ads manager. That's why if you are starting fresh, that's what I'm actually suggesting. You want to start with a business manager. Now, for those who are already in Meta Business Suite, how do we get into the Meta Business Manager? Let me walk you through real quick right now. Okay, now, this is your Meta Business Suite. You have to do this in your desktop version, yeah? As in like your laptop or something like that. This is what you have to do. You can't do this on mobile. A lot of things, we talk about Facebook advertising and whatnot, you can't do a lot of things on mobile. I just want to quickly give you this heads up over here, right? Okay, now in your Meta Business Suite, over here, there is these settings. Click on the settings, all right? Then you will be going into this where you are sort of able to do a little bit more things over here. And if you already have a business manager, you can click on these more business settings to go into your business manager. Okay, so essentially you will have to do the two-factor authentication. This is something that you must do because two-factor authentication, what am I doing? Prevents you from some potential hacks. And to be frank, it happens a lot. Like recently, a few months ago, one of my clients just got his Facebook business manager, Facebook profile and everything hacked, and poof, everything is gone. So I usually use the Google Authenticator. So that gives you, you don't need to get SMS and all that immediately. You can use the Google Authenticator, which you can download on your phone. And every time you want to log in, you can just use and then you will give you some instant password or something like that. So So yeah, so that's how we got in. It's already in. So I'm just going to come back to this. So, all right. Okay, so this is your business manager. Now, what can we do with business manager? Essentially, we can do a lot more things. Like, for example, you can manage more people, as in like you have a team, you want them to help you manage certain things here and there. That's how you can actually do this. If you want to work with external parties such as your agency, your whoever, you can actually work with them over here under the partners. And of course, you can actually manage multiple pages over here. Okay, there are a lot of pages that you can work together. These are all my clients' pages, and these are all my clients' ad accounts. Okay, so these are ad accounts. So you can actually work with a lot of different people or different external parties. Even internally, you can manage your whole structure in a very different way. So that's why I want you to go into the business manager. Now, for those who are new, okay, you can actually, if you have not started anything, you don't have a Facebook page even, you never started Facebook advertising, you don't even have the Meta Business Suite, fine. So if you want to directly create a Meta Business Manager, it's now Meta Business Manager now. So how do you do that? business.facebook.com/overview. Okay, go to business.facebook.com/overview. And then you will be directly going into this panel to create a business manager from scratch. So all you need to do is just click create an account, follow through the steps, and or put in all the information, and you can actually kind of like do this real quick. Okay, so this is about a business manager. Now, before I go further, I can see you guys have some comments coming in. Thanks for joining this, but I want to really address this second point over here, okay? Which is, if you are starting fresh, listen very carefully over here. If you're starting fresh and you are creating a new business manager and all that, one thing you want to make sure you don't do is you do not start with a new Facebook profile. I repeat, you do not start with a new Facebook profile. You know, this is what most people would do. I mean, back then it used to be all right, but now it's no longer working. What most companies or most organizations do is when they want to start doing something on Facebook, they create a fake account, as in like profile. All right. They either create a new email address and then register a new profile on Facebook. Then after that, they start whether creating Facebook page with it, creating Facebook ads manager with it and stuff like that, and start running ads. And they believe this is the right way. Now, the answer is no. Okay. You must not start with a newly created Facebook profile, because I would say 99%, the moment you start doing something, especially running ads with a newly created Facebook profile, you're going to be banned, you're going to be blocked, you're going to be disabled. And the next thing you find out here is, you know, they start asking you, can you verify your account with an ID? As in like, you got to show me your identification card that you really are the person. Let's say if you create a name called Team Jason, for example, what the hell? I mean, if you create something called Team Jason and they want you to have an ID that shows that your name is bloody Team Jason, how can you have that? You won't be able to do that, right? So, and this is how Facebook is programming their system to work right now. As long as there is a new profile trying to do something that is business related, immediately they will flag and they will disable your account. They will ask for identity verification, and that's where you will get into trouble. Seriously, you got to make sure you don't do that. So what should you do? Always start with an H profile, as in like your profile and mine profile, as in we have been on Facebook for a while. We have been posting, we have been, you know, like actively engaging with people on Facebook and all that. That shows that we are legit, we are real, right? We are not some fake accounts that is coming in to jeopardize the system and whatnot. So yeah, you got to have this kind of account. So for some people that, oh, Jason, my profile was disabled because I did something wrong, that means I can't do anything anymore. Actually, you can. You can actually get someone else, let's say your partner, your employee, or even whoever, all right, to actually, with a legit Facebook profile, to create a business manager for you and invite you to come in as an admin or an employee. And you slowly can build your credibility with Facebook over there. And when they are prompted to do verification, this person is legit, So it's gonna be okay because you are going to be able to provide the information that Facebook will be asking. So that's something that you really want to look into. All right. So do not start with a new profile. Always start with an existing profile that has been around for a while, because that's really something you have to make sure. And for real quick, you also can't do anything if you're selling something that Facebook do not allow. Okay, make sure you sell things that Facebook allows. Like some people say, oh, what if I actually find some workaround, and if I'm selling, let's say for example, you are selling, well, let's say for example, something that is not allowed, say sex toys, which is not allowed, to be frank, in Malaysia at least. So you can, but slowly, sooner or later, Facebook is going to find out, and they are going to come to you. So if you're not allowed to run ads for your product on Facebook, I would say probably you should actually look for some other alternative platforms. But if you are selling something that is allowed, then it's fine. So, and you got to make sure that you read this link. I actually highlight the link over here. You just need to go to facebook.com/policies_center and /ads. So that's where you look at like what is allowed, what's allowed to do, what is not allowed to do when you're running ads on Facebook. So that's a real quick do's. Okay, now I can see a lot of comments. Let me address them a little bit real quick, right? So I think Doris was asking how much required for your client to join under my mentorship. Actually, you can spend very moderate, okay, and you can still be coached by me. However, if you, I'm just saying, if you're not spending very big, then it may not worth the investment to come under my coaching. But yes, my client spends really big. There is no minimum spend for you to come under my coaching program. So I'm just saying, Doris, but thanks for asking. Okay, and Chiwai was saying, he's cheap on today's topic. Make sure to warm up the Facebook account and page if it's new. The business manager and also the ad account, this needs time to make sure that there's sufficient lead time before scaling big. And yes, I agree with Chiwai now. Chiwai is a friend, and he runs an agency. I think we can actually see this eye to eye, basically. You can't rush into things on Facebook. You can't rush into things. Like, for example, some people came to me and say that, Jason, my account can't allow me to spend $1,000 a day. What should I do? I would say, be patient, my friend. I guess sometimes you just have to go a little bit. Now, once you build your credibility and your relationship with Facebook over time, you can actually write in and request for extra, spending ability on your ad account or something like that. You can, but don't rush. One step at a time. Okay, one step at a time. All right. And Chiwai say, yeah, some people actually create a HQ account or some like shared account now, especially shared account. It's so easily hacked, my friend. And to be frank, when you are logging in from all over the place, this is also one very big flag that Facebook would, like flag up and say, let's take a look at this account. That probably would get it into trouble. Okay, all right. So we have Juan here. What's up, Juan? Welcome in. And then Chiwai was saying, for fellow new users here, what would you suggest? Okay, ask the client to create their own business manager or BM first. Else, if the advertiser create first, the page will end up owned by the advertiser. Now, good question, Chiwai. If you are, let's say, if you are, working with agency, okay, I would suggest that you create your business manager with your own profile, claim your page, and then create your ads account under it. And then after that, you start running ads, or then only you invite your agency to come in and do this for you. So if there's anything, you can actually quickly jump into the situation and validating and provide some verification and whatnot to prove that you are the owner of this. So it's going to be a lot easier for you to handle this way. And remember, one day when you're working with external parties like agencies, you will part ways one day. So when you part ways, you want the easiest way to part ways to lie. If you're working under the business manager structure, you can just remove them and you're good on your own. So that's how I would say it is. All right, William, what's up? Welcome in. Right, I can see quite a number of people are here already. Thanks for tuning in. And if this is really something that you find useful, remember to share this to any one of your friends. Yeah, just to look at this real quick. So this is something that you do. When you're starting a new account, when you're starting fresh on Facebook advertising, remember this workshop is actually mainly for those new Facebook advertisers. But nonetheless, you are welcome to come in and chip in and learn together and ask questions and whatnot. All right. Okay. Now, hey, what's up, Kevin? Welcome in. All right. Okay, now, so that's what you do. Okay, now, one thing I want to put it up to you right here. Okay, I want to say it first before you get into any situation. You will get disabled. Almost 100%. You will get disabled at one point, in one way or another, because because Facebook is now that going to validate or verify every single so-called advertiser right now. And in fact, it's not just Facebook. Yeah, my Google Ads account was just, actually stopped running. It stopped spending for a week, and I didn't realize it. I didn't come back to that. And then, you know what happened? They're asking me to submit my ID, just like what Facebook asks all the time. They asked me to submit my ID, and then basically I need to actually prove that I'm the real person and all that behind the screen and all that. So then they allow me to run ads again. They actually got everything stopped for a week plus, and I think today it just got back. So it's the same. So you will get disabled. That's why I'm just gonna give you a few things when you get disabled. Yeah. So when you're disabled, it's either your ad account disabled, your ad is disabled, even your profile is disabled. So what do? Okay, don't panic. Okay, when you're disabled, go in. There must be something you can do. But since we are here real quick, right? So this is what you do, right? When you got disabled, which is gonna happen anyway, one way or another. So when you're disabled, say for example, let's say we come into the ads manager over here. It's a lot easier to navigate. All right. So this is an ads manager. So when you're disabled, you probably will see a big flag, red color banner on the bar on top and say that you're bloody disabled. You can't run ads. Please go to the next step. So they always give you some buttons to click to go to the next step. Trust me, Facebook is not that cruel. They always give you solution. So, but if you want to really get this real quick, okay, very simple. Go to the hamburger over here. Click on the bloody hamburger. Scroll. There is this thing called account quality. All right. You can actually right click and open a new tab over here. Account quality. And when you get into your account quality, all right, then basically you will be shown, all right, some, let's say, for example, for whatever issues you have in your account, your overview and whatever situations. And if you have your ad account restricted and all that, your profile restricted and all that, they'll always show you. So you can actually come in, to account issues. If there's anything, you can actually just go through, let's say there are some accounts restricted. All you need to do is to click into it, and they'll always tell you what to do. They'll always tell you what to do. Like on the right-hand side, there is this business verification. So what they're asking you to do here is to go to business verification. There must be something you can do. Just get into it, get into the account, whether it's because of your profile being restricted and all that. But let me tell you this, usually, okay, it's all about verifying that you're a real person by submitting your ID. So just follow the steps. They will come to a point where they will ask you to submit your ID. Just give it to them. Don't be stubborn, okay, and wait. That's it. All right, so that's what I say. Okay, so when things happen, don't panic, okay? Follow the steps, and usually it starts with submitting your ID. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people, once they submitted their ID, they thought that this is it. I'm just going to stop here and everything's going to be fine. No, the answer is no. Okay, you can't just submit your ID and you expect things to get back. Once you submitted your ID, they will verify you as a real person. Then you actually, if your ad account is disabled and all that, you probably will have to come in again and request for another review to get your account recovered. So there are things you can or can't do over here, my friend. So you got to really follow the steps, and sometimes it takes time. All right, so it takes time. So all you can do is actually wait and follow up from time to time. So how do you follow up? Always go back to the account quality. This is where you look at whatever issues you have, which stage you're at, and how can you proceed with the next steps and next steps and next steps. That's how you actually follow the steps to do what you need to do. Okay, so really being disabled is really something very normal. Don't panic, and just have to navigate and follow the steps. All right, so yeah, let's take a look at this now. Chiwai has a comment. Let's see. So Chiwai said his worst nightmare will be asking the client to create page and the client left the employee. Yeah, I mean, this happens. That's why we need to provide the best solution to the client, as in, like, I would always recommend that the boss or the manager will come in. And of course, the page or the business manager can be owned by multiple admin. So that's something that you can actually structure as well. All right. And William said buying account. Don't do that, my friend. Yeah, Chiwai say the same. Don't do that. Any hanky-panky can easily raise the flag. And that's the last thing you want to do when you're dealing with Facebook. Okay. All right. So for those who are new, all right, I'm just going to go through this real quick, right? So I'm just going to do this, like, showing you what's a Facebook ads or IG ad. So this is what you see as this is an ad. Okay. How do you know it's an ad? You have this word sponsored below the name. Same goes to the Instagram. You have this word sponsored below the name. And there is this, like, call to action bar at the bottom over here, with the button over here that you can click. So these are advertisements. But I think you already know it when it comes to, like, I mean, we always like to say everything free is not free, because you are the product. So when we are on Facebook and Instagram enjoying all the so-called features for free, we are the product. So they match us with advertisers that wants to target us, and they show their ads to us. And that's how Facebook makes money. Okay, Facebook has to make money, else how do they survive, right? But advertisements on Facebook are pretty much designed in a way that it's not very intrusive. And what Facebook always wants us to do is make it look less like an advertisement. But how can it be possible, right? But anyway, that's what they want us to do. So these are all advertisements. Okay, and just want to quickly go into this and talk about this again, how to start Facebook advertising. In fact, there are two ways to start Facebook advertising, which is like when you go back, let's say this is the Facebook page. Okay, when you have a Facebook page, at the bottom over here, whenever you post something, there's always this little boost button. So this button allows you to click quickly, clicking on it, and well, it says that hey, wait, payment disabled for user. But anyway, so this is how you can actually start advertising. You click on this boost a post, and they will actually they will lead you to, you can start running some ads by boosting the post. But I will always recommend not to use the boost button. You want to go in and start right with Facebook Ads Manager. So this is how an Ads Manager looks like. So this is an Ads Manager. So how do you go into your Ads Manager if you already have it and you do not know how to come back in? So let me switch back to my profile. Let's go into this. So this is my profile. You go into your profile. All right. Wait, where am I? So go to the home. So this, you go into your home. Do not add me as friend, yeah, because this is my profile. I am not active on my profile. You might as well go and follow my Facebook page. I'm a lot more active over there. Wait, what's happening? Okay, now this is it. This is the Facebook home, right? So when you're at Facebook home, then you'll be seeing something like this. Now on the left-hand side, left sidebar, okay, click see more. Okay, and then wait for it to drop down. Then you will be seeing this thing called Ads Manager. Okay, click on it. It will always lead you to this screen if you already have an Ads Manager. If not, that button will also prompt you to start a Ads Manager. Now, this is how I would recommend you to start advertising on Facebook. Always go for the Ads Manager, because this is the right way to do this. And there are a lot more features inside the Ads Manager compared to the boost button. You want to start with, with the right place, in the right place, with the right features that will allow you to do better on Facebook advertising. So, so how to start Facebook advertising? Like I said, start with a Ads Manager. But before we go into that, I just want to really look at this Ads Manager a little bit. Now, I have an Ads Manager that has been around for a while. I've been running ads, of course. So just want to quickly give you the idea over here. There are three main layers when it comes to advertise Facebook ads. First thing first, you have this campaign layer, okay, which is the first tab. Under each campaign, there is this ad sets layer, all right, and followed by ads layer. So three layers. Okay, now then I want to quickly share with you about the structure a little bit. So this is a campaign structure. First thing first, One campaign, one objective. All right, one campaign, one objective. There is only one objective you can do for each campaign. All right, so let's say if you choose traffic, it's traffic. If you choose like a conversion, then it's conversion. If you choose sales, then it's sales, right? So this is the campaign structure. All right, so one campaign can actually consist of multiple ad sets. So like over here, as you can see, I can actually have an ad set that targets female and the other one targeting male. All right, and I spend 70%. When I actually break my ad sets like this, because this is simply because I want to have control on a few things. Remember, ad sets is where you control things that you want to control. So what do we want to control over here? I want to make sure that I spend 70% on female and 30% on male. So with that, I will create two ad sets and each one will be given the budget distribution. So that's what you do. So what else can we control at the ad set level? Like placement. Okay. What else can you do is you can actually create one ad set for Facebook, the other one for Instagram. If you really want to actually have this kind of like, like structure over here. Now, what else can you do? You can actually create one ad set for maybe Northern Malaysia, the other one for Southern Malaysia, for example. So ad set can allow you to control things that you want to control. And for those who know me, I'm not a pro CBO person. I am not in for CBO. I'm an ABO person. So I will always put my budget control at the ad set level because I want to have the ability to adjust as and when I go, as and when I see the opportunity to optimize and things like that. So that's what I do. So under each ad set, you can have multiple ads. You can have 2 ads, 5 ads within the same ad set. However, I want to tell you this upfront. When you have 3 ads under the same ad set, for example, okay, and then let's say you spend $10 for this ad set, Facebook will never distribute your budget evenly on these 3 ads. Meaning, there must be one ad that will get the lion's share of the budget. Meaning, like let's say ad A, gets 80% of the budget treatment, even though the cost per result may not be the cheapest, but Facebook will actually push it there. That's why this is not a good way to test creative. Let me put this up front. However, okay, if you just want these 3 creatives to be there and reaching people in a meaningful way and giving them some little bit of like kind of like opportunity to see different advertisement from time to time, then you're actually okay to do that. That's why you have to know what you are having over there. But essentially, you can have multiple ads under each ad set. So that's what we do. So this is the campaign structure. Remember, the campaign structure is very important because if you do not understand this, then you probably won't be able to navigate this thing right. So that's why I want to quickly go through the campaign structure first. All right. So I have a quick question over here from Solomon. I mean, if you guys are watching the replay, this is actually a live replay. So I do this and we have live participants over here. So thanks, Solomon, for joining me. So he's asking, what can we do when Facebook permanently restricted your account from advertising and that you can no longer advertise with Facebook product? Okay, for this situation, if you're permanently restricted, you can keep appealing to Facebook, writing in and all that, but it will take time. So my fastest fix is get somebody, whether your business partner, your employee and anyone, okay, go through the right way to start a business manager and start a new page, start an ads account and run ads with that. So if you want to come in as a control, then you can actually either you borrow his or her account. That's one way. All right. I mean, of course, I'm not into buying account, that kind of stuff, but you have to create everything from scratch again with a an existing Facebook profile, like we talk about the Dukes. You don't want to create a new profile to do this because usually the moment you create a new profile to do this, it's going to be flagged. So yeah, then slowly you nurture your new account, nurture your new ads manager, and make sure you comply to all the rules. All right, you do what Facebook allow you to do. That's it. You don't do anything that is not allowed because it's their turf, my friend. Why are you messing, with them in their turf? I mean, this is not right, right? Anyway, so that's the campaign structure. Thanks for the question, Solomon. Now, the next thing I want to quickly talk about here is what makes a good Facebook ads campaign. So when it comes to Facebook ads, Why? I mean, I would say there are many school of thoughts out there. I'm not saying that I'm the truth or the right one, but this is how I understand what makes a good Facebook ads campaign. So a good Facebook ads campaign must be able to send the right message to the right people to get them to take the right action. So the right message being the creative and the copywriting. Creative means the advertisement image or the video that you have. So the creative is the right message. So that's why this is where actually people get stuck. How do I know whether my creative is working or not? I mean, we have some metrics to look into that, but I don't want to confuse you first. But essentially, this is for new Facebook advertisers. That's why yes, I have to really we don't get too deep into something. So the right message being the creative, the copywriting. The right message has to be sent to the right people, which is the audience targeting, the target audience. So, and then you want to get them to take the right action. So either one of these falls apart, everything falls apart. So let's say, for example, if you have a right message, but you send it to the wrong people, then it's not going to work. And you send the wrong message to the right people, it's not going to work. All right. So when you actually send the right message to the right people and get them to take the wrong action, it's not going to work. Like, what do you mean by wrong action? Like, for example, if you are trying to drive conversion to your website and you boost a post, that's the wrong action. I mean, I'll get into that later on, but essentially, these are the three main pillars, that makes a good Facebook ads campaign, in my personal opinion. All right. So basically, this is the first question that I get asked a lot. I mean, Jason, I don't know how to find the right audience. How many of you have this issue? Type of 1 or just give me like or something like that. Yeah, I mean, I know probably if you're watching the replay, but seriously, this is one of the most frequently asked questions that I get. How do I find the right audience? How do I know if my audience is correct? How do I get inspiration about audience targeting? So a lot of how do I, right? So I have 2 ways to help you, get started, because if you're new to this, okay. So we're addressing the first pillar over here, which is the right people, right? So I want to give you 2 ways to find your best target audience. All right, the first one is we have these audience insights. All right, so audience insights, how do we get in there? Okay, in your ads manager over here, always remember the hamburger. Okay, so in the hamburger, when you click on the hamburger, scroll down a little, then you will see this thing called audience insights. Okay, you see this audience insights? Well, I will do right click and open a new tab, but I already opened it anyway. So this is audience insights. Okay, now very simple. Now, first thing first, understand your audience. So let's say, for example, I'm starting with the potential audience over here. So let's start with the filter. All right. So let's say if I'm actually going for Malaysia, say, for example, the whole country, Malaysia. So I want you to always start with this. Understand your audience size. Now, when you talk about Malaysia over here, wait, what did I do? Okay. So I'm targeting Malaysia. All right. So when I type Malaysia, 18 to 65 plus, that's all the audience that legally I can target. It says I have about 28 million Facebook users that I can target. All right. So 28 million Facebook users. Now, the first question a lot of people ask, what's the good audience size to start, right? Okay. In my opinion, 10 to 20% of the total audience size is viable if you are spending not more than $100 a day. This is a real quick answer, yeah. Real quick answer. But of course, we have different situations. Let's say when it comes to Singapore with such a small audience, then, well, maybe we have a different situation. But essentially, if you're starting with a moderate budget, so let's say moderate means probably from $1 to $100, that kind of range, for example, yeah. So I would suggest that you start with 10 to 20% of your audience size. So let's say, for example, Malaysia has 28 million Facebook users in total. I would say you can start with 2 million to 5 million is fine. Yeah. So that's my quick answer, because you want to give your campaign some room to grow. You don't want to get into a niche audience with like 45,000 people, then, well, and you will have very high CPM and probably you won't be able to see results coming in a meaningful way. It doesn't make sense. That's what I think, right? So yeah, that's the size. That's why do something. You can actually do more things over here. You can actually go for interest. Let's say digital marketing. Okay, so I would start with digital marketing, right? This is what I do, right? Okay, so Malaysia, digital marketing. Okay, so email marketing, for example. Okay, so when I do email marketing, it's about 4 million. Oh, that sounds good to me. Or I can do what? Social media marketing. Okay, wow, it gets bigger and bigger because the more things I put in, it gets bigger and bigger. So let's go for social media. Oh, it's 8.3. Well, that's how you actually kind of get an idea. So the moment you key in all the interest or anything that you're trying to target, then you'll be able to see the estimation. And from there, you're able to see the age distribution, the gender distribution and where they are coming from, the top cities and towns and stuff like that. So that gives you some idea about your audience if you're getting started. Okay, so I have already given you some idea about how much what's the ideal audience size to start. So you got to be really getting some ideas over here, but at least I hope that gives you some idea to kickstart. So that's the audience insights. Now the second one, I always like this. Okay, the second one, the second method, I promise to give you 2 ways, right? So the second way here is the easiest way to learn is to learn from the competitors. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we do that? All right. Wait, but before that, then Chiwa is asking, the interest is or and or. It's or. So when you actually have a lot of interest in there, then it's either or. So that you realize the more you put in, the bigger it gets. All right. So that's how it works. It's how we start, right? Okay. Now I want to quickly give you this idea about how do we learn from competitors. So how do we learn from competitors? Like for example, so let's find some ad. Okay, Amy Porterfield. Okay, obviously this is an ad because you have this word sponsored below it. Okay, so what you can do here is when you see an ad on Facebook, just click on these 3 dots on the top right. Okay, and scroll down, then you'll be seeing this thing called, why am I seeing this? All right, why am I saying this? Okay, now then it says, communicated in English, your age is that, and your personalized ads, I think it's targeting me because of my retargeting. I think this is a retargeting campaign. So this is retargeting campaign. So this is how you can try to find out how your audience, how your competitors are targeting the audience. I think this is also a retargeting. So you click this, you go down. Why am I saying this? Yeah, it says, yeah, I watched their video, you see? I watched their video. That's why they're using a retargeting over here. I'm trying to get something that is more like a broad targeting so that I can actually show you guys. But essentially, you can actually just go in. Let's say, for example, this is Russell, right? So let's say, why am I seeing this? Okay, right. So it says, yeah, I mean, Russell is crazy. I think this is just broad targeting. They're just targeting Malaysian with 18 and above. That's it. Okay, yeah. So this is actually a broad targeting. If let's see if we are able to find some, more specific ads. Okay, now this photo vibrance, never seen it before. Okay, why am I saying this? I'm just gonna go right in. Okay, here you go. It says, okay, this advertiser, photo vibrance, is targeting people who are interested in AppSumo. That's the keyword, AppSumo. All right, so yeah, you can actually use this as your detailed targeting as well. So AppSumo, English, 18 and above, right? So, all right, so that's something that we learned about photo vibrance. Thanks for targeting me. Let's see if there is anything else. Oh, SAMcard. I think SAMcard is a retargeting, but let's find out. Okay, why is it not showing? Okay, why am I saying this? Okay, sorry, let me bring this down. Shiwa is having too much airtime over there. Okay, so this is the broad targeting. SAMcard is targeting people who speaks English, age 23 and older. That's it. It's not a retargeting, it's a broad targeting. I think they have a lot of money. They're just spending like mad. All right, so TopTal, right? I mean, on the right-hand side, you can also see this like TopTal. I'm actually gonna click. Why am I saying this? So TopTal is targeting, oh, this is a lookalike audience. It says similarities to their customers. This is the lookalike audience. All right, and yeah, that gives you the idea about what can you do to learn from your competitors. I think essentially what we want to do here is we want to actually learn from whatever that is already happening, the best practices that people are already using, and to really cut short our learning, so-called learning journey. We don't actually think too much about what should be done, what should we do. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. While a lot of things are pretty much done by a lot of people, we just need to follow what's working. Now for this one, audio is targeting people who are interested in video production, video editing, and more. I mean, when I say more, I like it. So video production, video editing, Adobe Premiere Pro, video editing software. I think they hit the right chord. I am into all this. I'm into all this. So basically, this is how, I can see like Doris is saying about Facebook ad library. That's correct. But this is how we find out how our competitors or anyone target us. Okay. So just to give you some idea about what can be done. You see, as you can see up to now, right? In fact, a lot of campaigns are actually targeting broad audience. In fact, that's what Facebook has been advocating as well. There's nothing right or wrong. You just have to test and see. Because the moment you go broad, like Russell was going broad, I forgot who, Sandcard was going broad. Now, when you go broad, essentially you allow Facebook to reach more people in a more effective way. And that we are betting on Facebook's algorithm to help us find the right people. So the more you allow this campaign to run, in fact, over time, it gets better and better. But that's a deeper questions to be talked about already. But I guess I just want to give you the idea about what can be done and what is probably one of the best practices that you can look into right now. So that's how you, learn from your competitors to find the target audience for your campaign, right? So that's that. Now, the next question that I get a lot from my audience is, Jason, I don't know how to design good Facebook ads. What can I do? I don't know how to design good Facebook ads. Okay, so design and copywriting are essentially the right message, right? So when it comes to the right message, I also want to give you 2 ways to draw design inspiration. Okay, so the first way is really, it's called Facebook ads inspiration. It's bloody Facebook ads inspiration. So all you need to do is to go to Google, open a new tab, okay? Facebook ads inspiration, come on. Facebook ads inspiration, it's called Facebook ads inspiration, right? So that there you go with this Facebook ads inspiration resources for creative ads examples. So just get into that, all right? So just get into that, then immediately you'll be able to see this thing. So this is where you can actually look at some, some examples of Facebook ads. So you can even switch, like for example, I want to look at maybe, I can choose ad format. Let's say I go for videos, right? And I want to go for Instagram, for example. So then they will show you, so these are all the video ads on Instagram. Let's take a look at this. So you can actually look at the example. Okay, hang on. Red Bull. Okay, let's play this. So this is how the ad looks like. Just in case you need some inspiration about, what kind of ad should I be creating? What should I do with the ad? Yeah, it's cool, right? So this is one of the ideas that you can learn from. These are all successful advertisements, else Facebook would not be featuring them over here. So this is actually how it looks like. And then, in fact, now actually they have this new feature over here that if you want to do this, you can actually create a mock-up quickly with that. Yeah, so I will let you explore these things. So you can actually just play with it. In fact, if you come back down here, there are so many ads you can look into. Okay, just play with it. So this is another one. Yeah, this is the Facebook ad. Take a look at this. Okay, you see? Right. Big fonts, like clear images and all that, that actually gives people all the reason to click. Remember, when it comes to ad creative, in my opinion, it's about what is in for me, what's in for me, and what do you want me to do? Always ask yourself this question. What is in for me? What do you want me to do? All right. So yeah. Okay. Now, so that's the audience. Sorry, this is not audience targeting. This is the creative already. So yeah. Facebook ads inspiration. It's called Facebook ads inspiration. Just play with it. It's fun. Okay. So Facebook ads inspiration. Now, the second way is same thing. It's always about learning from the competitors, especially your competitors. Just go to any of the competitors. Use, like go to Facebook. Any of the competitors. In fact, this guy is a competitor, but I don't see it over here. Let's see. Anyone? At work. All right, I like this. All right, so all you need to do is to go into their Facebook page. I'm clicking into at work conference over here. Okay, you go into their Facebook page, anyone's Facebook page at all. In fact, anyone's Facebook page. Okay, I'm just gonna move myself over here a little bit. So you scroll down on the left sidebar, you see that? Scroll, scroll, then you will come to a point where you see this page transparency. You see that? Now click on the see all. Click on see all, then you'll be able to see this thing like, when was it created and who is managing this, how many people are actually managing this, like 6 from Philippines, 3 from Pakistan, 2 from Netherlands, New Zealand, Singapore, Malaysia, there is one, not bad. Then you can actually go into this, go to add library. That's what Doris was saying. Go to add library, and then you will be seeing all the advertisements that they are running right now. All the advertisements that they are running right now. Okay, it takes some time to load up. Apparently, AdWords is running hell a lot of campaign. Okay, right, check this out. So these are all the ads that they are running right now. You see that? Okay, so what do? Well, I wouldn't say copy. I wouldn't say whatever. We draw inspiration from them. That's the right way to say it, right? So look at all the awesome ads that they are already using. I mean, if they do this, means it's working. And if it's working, why not we just compliment them by drawing inspiration from them? I mean, that's what I think. Okay, so that's how you draw inspiration from your competitors or anyone that you find their ads are interesting and exciting and inspiring. That's how you actually learn from them. And it's always good to learn from someone else. There's nothing original in the world right now. So just learn from the best, my friend. All right. So yeah, so that's how you learn from your competitors. Okay. Now, go back real quick. Jiwai was saying he has mixed feelings on Broad nowadays. He recently used a Broad to spread the word on the event. Blah blah blah. Engaged. It has great so far. Don't know why he's skeptical on the AI. Yeah. So sometimes we just have to learn to trust the AI. Of course, they screw us up over and over. Like before this, but we have to have faith in them that they will get better and better. But but thanks for sharing, GY. That's cool. Now, then it will lead us to the next pillar, which is the right action. All right. So when it comes to the right action, basically we're talking about the objectives. So this is the objectives that you'll be seeing right now. Okay. By October 2022, which is this year, okay, eventually everybody will start seeing this lineup of objectives, right? From there on. In fact, a lot of my ad accounts are already switching over to this lineup already. We used to have 11 objectives, which we have reach, awareness, conversion, traffic, messages, lead gen and all that. I just want to assure you that they are not going away in any way. They are still there. It's just that what Facebook is doing right now is they're grouping the objectives into outcome that you can relate quickly. So this thing is called ODAX, Outcome Driven Advertising Experience. ODAX, all right? So ODAX is actually a new lineup of objectives where they group things together, the group objectives together according to the outcome that is gonna drive you. Like for example, if you go for leads, then you'll find lead gen in there, messages in there, WhatsApp in there, and a few other things in there as well. If you go to sales, you will see even lead gen is there, messages is there, WhatsApp is there, but of course the conversion is there, the catalog is there. All right, and so on and so forth. So this is how they group things together, but does not mean lead gen is going away, doesn't mean messages is going away. No, they are just going into different categories. And in fact, for new Facebook advertisers, this is a good thing. You just have to be very clear on one thing. What do you want? And the idea here is to get to the closest to the last thing that you want to get. Like for example, if you want to drive people to buy your product on your website, so your objective should be conversion on your website. All right. So get there first. Get there first. That's what you want. Now, then, if you probably have a new website that you don't have a very strong pixel and all that, you don't have a lot of so-called data on your website, you probably can start with maybe, because you choose conversion, but you can always start with different so-called optimization. But that's a little bit technical. I don't want to cover it over here because that will get you a little bit more confused. Because this is really addressing to the fresh new Facebook advertisers. But really, you just need to be very, like, for example, a lot of people are still having this misconception where they will say, I think I need to get people to know me first, then they will only decide to buy. No, when it comes to Facebook advertising, straight away get to the point on what you want. If you want sales, it's sales. If you want leads. Don't beat around the bush with awareness and all that unless you know what you're doing. Right? Usually, for most of the case, unless your business is really like on branding, a route that you do not need action to do that. And basically, I would say, yeah, awareness is not for most advertisers or most businesses, especially if you're running small budget, moderate budget. Go for the action, the outcome that will benefit your business the most. So that's my advice to you. Okay, but nonetheless, go in and navigate. The moment you go in, they will give you some ideas. I mean, I can actually do this real quick. So let's say if I go into my account, right, my ads account. So let's say if I click create, right, I'm just gonna do this real quick. Okay, so yeah, so the moment you go into each of it, like for example, I go for sales. You see, under sales, I have conversion, okay, catalog sales, and messenger and WhatsApp. It's all in there. And when I go for leads, then we have instant form, messenger, conversions as well. Because some, like for my website, my conversion is lead. Yeah, my conversions is not necessarily signing up to my course. Lead can be considered one of them. So yeah, you gotta. So that gives you a little bit of idea about what you can do. So, but nonetheless, just navigate, moving around, reading what it gives you. Like for example, if you see leads over here, just mouse over. Okay, hey, let's say I choose leads. Okay, then you can start reading. Oh, instant form is this thing. Oh, messenger is this thing. I mean, just navigate, just navigate. All right, and don't worry. I mean, until you hit the publish button and start running ads, then only you'll start be paying Facebook for whatever. But before that, nothing is gonna happen to your credit card. Nothing wrong. Okay, so this is ODAX. All right, so I just want to quickly come back to this thing. So objective is really a very important thing that you have to really understand. I would suggest you spend some time to understand. And in fact, I did an ODAX training, the Facebook Ads Objective training. That's why I don't want to repeat that here anymore. I will leave the link later on in the description. You can actually click on it and watch it. But if you guys are already on my YouTube, just go to my YouTube channel and search for ODAX Facebook ODAX. Either way, then you'll be able to find that training. It's a 1.5 hour training, right? So it's a very deep dive into the objective. It gives you the idea about how do you choose, what should you do, right? Okay, so before that I go through this, like, ODAX is screwing old advertisers' mind. Yes, you're right. It screws the old advertisers, but for new advertisers, these actually become clearer. Yeah, the outcome you want out of this, rather than like seriously the outcome you want. So thinking about this is always the right track. You'll not go wrong with this. Okay, so since we talk about the outcome driven, right? So this is how essentially Facebook group our audiences according to the action likely taken. So let's say if you're targeting 1,000 people, for example, over here, we're targeting 1,000 people over here. Even as zoom in as 1,000 people, each of these 1,000 people have different behavior. Let's put it this way. Let's say there are 500 people who are into liking, commenting, and share, and there are 400 into installing apps, and another 300 over into clicking links. But if you want to get people to click link and go to your website, but you choose the boost or the engagement objective, which essentially you're telling Facebook that, hey, I want to get likes, comments, and shares. I mean, that's for sure you're not going to get the result that you want. That's why you got to be very clear. What brings you business outcome? That's why it's called outcome-driven advertising objective, advertising experience. You got to be very clear about what do you want to get. Do you want to get like, comment, and share, or you want people to just buy? Some people will argue, they will start there, right? Like, comment. No, trust me. People who are into liking, commenting, and sharing, they are rarely clicking into links. But if you want to really get people to go to your website and buy, then you have to be very clear about what you want, because that will send the message to Facebook about, hey, I think this guy's looking for this. If you send the wrong message, they will send you the wrong people, and in turn, you will blame Facebook for that. But hey, you choose the wrong objective in the first place. So that's what I want to really highlight to you, that you got to start with the right objective. Okay, now, just want to really, wait, what am I doing right now? So how Facebook ads work. I just want to quickly go through this, how Facebook ads work. All right, so how Facebook ads work. To a lot of people, I'm just going to do this real quick. To a lot of people, running Facebook ads is about having this, you send the ad out, when people see the ad, okay, they will go to your landing page. I mean, if you're e-commerce, then in turn, they will turn into your customer. This is the ideal situation. This is the simple 3 steps that a lot of people would think that, okay, this is how it works, right? However, do you know what goes behind the scene of the simple 3 steps? First thing first, according to Facebook, a person needs to see your ad about 2 to 3 times in 7 days to realize. You see, nowadays, I mean, not nowadays, it has been like this for a long time. When we go to Facebook, we are not in the mood of consuming advertisement, but we are seeing them anyway. But that doesn't mean that we are ready for that. So our mind is set to see things that we are interested in. Friends we follow, brands we follow. I want to see what should I eat for dinner, stuff like that. So I'm not ready to see advertisement, but when you are there, you are an intrusive content. So as an intrusive content, usually I will choose to ignore in the first place. But I will have some impression about it, but I will ignore first. I will not take action. Now, the second time it comes back to me, then probably I will be like, okay, I've seen this before. Let's take a look. It's an airport, not bad, Then only I will decide to click. You see, it takes 2 to 3 impressions to get a click. That's how things work on Facebook advertising. And then, you know what? 2 to 3%, 2 to 3 times to click. And, seriously, when it comes to advertising on Facebook, the normal click-through rate is 1%. So let's say if you can get 1,000 impressions, okay, you reach your audience 1,000 times, you will get 10 clicks. Okay, 10 clicks, 1%, right? So out of these 10 clicks, what happened next? Okay, what happened next? Your girlfriend called, your boss texted you, your kids started yelling there. What do you do next? What do you do first? You respond to all these things first, right? And you forgot about the ad that you just clicked. Here's the hardcore fact. Over 95% of, audiences who click on the advertisement drop off. Not because they're not interested, because they're distracted. Okay? Because life is full of distractions. I have 4,663 things that I need to do at every single time, and I just forgot. So here's the thing. Are you doing anything to remind them? Are you doing anything to bring them back? This is really something that a lot of advertisers do not do. Like this morning, I spoke to construction company advertiser in Canada. They spend $100 to $200 a day, okay, running ads, but they never do retargeting, and their conversion is about 0.5%. I would say, what happened to your 99.5%, my friend? They were intended, they were interested, but they did not take the action, but you just let them go. So here's the thing. That's why I always like to tell people at this point of time, at this juncture, to be frank, if you're starting advertising right now, you can't be like anyone else before this. Just start creating an account, just start running ads. You need to start with a strategy. You need to start with a framework that can actually get you the maximum outcome for your business. And that's why I want to introduce you to my 2-step funnel framework. So 2-step funnel framework is a framework that I have been using and my students have been using since 2018. All right. I started developing this framework in 2016, like 17, 18, finally it stabilizes. So this is a framework that is guiding thousands of Facebook advertisers around the world. I mean, who have gone through my learning, but of course, it's not the only framework that we have in the world right now. It's just one of a framework that I believe, all my students love it. I've been using it. My clients have been using it. So it's really something that is proven. It has guided tens of millions in Facebook ad spend. So it works. That's why I want to share with you this framework. So when it comes to 2-step funnel framework, essentially, there will be 2 ads running simultaneously. right? 2 ads running simultaneously, right? First thing first, we will have a tier 1 ad. So let's say this is the tier 1 ad. So this is an ad that goes out and target, new people. So when we are running ads, when we're running tier 1 ad, okay, there's this key concept that you have to understand, which is what we call the audience qualifier. Now, what is an audience qualifier? It is an action that we define, okay, as an action that we define as somebody who is interested in our advertisement or somebody who have taken action on our advertisement. So audience qualifier is very important. All right. So first thing first, what do we have here? So this is a 12-second video. Okay. So when you see this video, if you watch this video up to 50%, which is like if you don't take any action, you just let it run. By watching up to 50%, which is about 6 seconds, I qualify that as an intent. Because if you're not interested, you won't spend 6 seconds on something that you're not interested in. So, okay, so that's an intent. Now, if you click on the advertisement, of course, it's an intent. All right. And of course, the last one is if you buy the product, that's even a clearer intent that you already make action. So either one of these you do. Either one of these you do, right? The first thing that I want you to learn is to exclude them from this advertisement, which means either of these 3 actions, if you have done any one of this, you must not see this ad again as an audience. You get what I mean? This is how you can free up your budget to more people. And when you are able to bring in more people into your campaign as the top of funnel, your campaign gets better and better over time. And you also will avoid, when you do this, you'll avoid reaching back the same audience who have taken action, which is essentially going to waste your ads budget. Like for example, do you know how to exclude those who have bought from you? Do you know how to exclude those who have actually submitted lead? Do you know how to actually exclude those who have watched half to half, 50% of the video? If you do not know, that's something that you have to learn right now. Because you want to make sure that those who have taken action will now never see this again. They want to free this to reach as many people as possible. And then you'll be asking me, hey, Jason, you just mentioned that 95% of these people who click drop out. So what about those? Okay, fine. Then we have the tier 2 ad, right? Tier 2 ad is essentially targeting people who watched the video and click on advertisement, but did not purchase, right? If you have purchased, then of course you'll go out. So, but when it comes to retargeting, in fact, some of you probably have explored retargeting and you probably don't see good success with it. Let me tell you a few reasons why. Okay, first mistake, over retargeting. Like when it comes to retargeting, what most people do, well, I think, I want to retarget people who go to my website in the last 60 days. Some even go for like 180 days because in their opinion, the more people, the longer I go, the more people I have, right? I mean, that's one of a common mistake. But why do I say it's a mistake? Now, let me ask you this question. If you do a 60 days retargeting, let's say 60 days, you know what that means? That means if I watch the video in the first place, the tier 1 ad, I will be seeing this retargeting ad for the next 3 months, 2 months, for example. Now, my question to you here is, what do you sell that I would need to take 2 months to consider whether to buy from you or someone else? Does it make sense? It doesn't. Right? So the retargeting has to be retargeting for the optimum duration. Now, another mistake, the second mistake that advertisers will do is they always believe that retargeting ad comes later. As in, I run ads for a week. 1 week later, I will start my retargeting. Here's the thing. If I click on your ad and watch your video right now, my intention is now, and I don't buy. And you wait 1 week later, then only you come back and say, hey, you watched my video. Do you want to buy right now? Do you think I still remember? Or do you think I probably would still if it's something that I can easily find someone else or somewhere else, I probably have bought it already. So here's the thing. When you're doing retargeting, you want to retarget for the optimum duration. First rule of thumb, retargeting ads starts immediately. The moment I watch the video and I close the app, come back to Facebook again, I need to see your retargeting ad right away. That's the first rule of thumb. The second rule of thumb is you will retarget for only the optimum duration, which is the conversion window. How long do people take usually to consider whether to buy from you or your competitor? Now, let me give you an example. Do you know what's the conversion window for a smartphone? the conversion window for a smartphone is actually less than 48 hours. When I start browsing for iPhone, for example, I want to buy it yesterday. I don't want to buy it tomorrow. I don't want to buy it 1 week later. I want to buy it yesterday. I will make decision that quick because human nowadays can't live without a smartphone. All right. So you got to really understand your conversion window and you want to retarget for the optimum duration. Now, let me give you some example. For e-commerce businesses, usually for normal products, the conversion window is about 7 days, 3 to 7 days. All right. So let's come back to the two-step funnel. Tier 1 ads will always qualify audiences. And with that qualification, we will make sure either you watch the video, click on the advertisement of purchase, you do not see tier 1 ad again. And in turn, you will start seeing tier 2 ad. And if you buy, of course, you will not come out. But the tier 2 ad will only run for 3 days, 7 days, or any conversion window that you want to look into. So that's the two-step funnel. All right, that's something that we have been using. There's a framework that we have been using for a long time, and it's a proven framework. Okay, now some people ask, wow, you say 2 ads, right? It sounds complicated. And another thing is, do you mean I need to spend more money? No, the idea here is you do not need to increase your ads budget. You only need to structure it differently. So I want to quickly tell you how powerful is the two-step funnel framework for real quick. So I'm going to give you 2 scenarios to compare. So like I say, you don't need to increase your budget. Stick to your $300 a month, for example. Now, let's say we spend $300 a month. That's that. Okay, so if you spend $300 a month, you don't need to increase your budget, but let me give you the 2 scenarios over here. Now, first thing first. All right, so scenario 1. Okay, scenario 1 is you spend $300 on ad. You run 1 ad, or you just run multiple, but essentially they are all cold targeting ads, targeting new people, for example. So anyway, so if you spend $300 on tier 1 ad or the broad targeting ad, say for example, if you reach your audience about 100,000 times, fine. I mean, this is just an illustration anyway. So you spend $300, you reach your audience 100,000 times. Let's say we stick back to the 1% click-through rate, which is good, all right? So let's say 100,000 times will get you about 1,000 clicks, okay? So 1,000 clicks, fine. So out of these 1,000 who clicked, let's say 5% of them bought something from your website. Is that cool? So let's say 5% of them bought something from the website. That makes 50 purchases. All right, 5% out of 1,000, that's 50 purchases. And let's say each order you make $50 in revenue. So that makes you $2,005 in revenue. To a lot of people, this is fantastic already. Because what's the ROAS? Almost 10, right? You spend $300, you get $2,005 in revenue. That's awesome. The next question you should be asking is, how can I spend more? How can I make more, right? Now, before we talk about scaling, I want to quickly give you the other scenario, which is the second scenario. Now, I did mention that we're going to spend the same amount, which is $300, but we will break it according to a ratio, which is 80-20. 80 on tier 1, 20 on tier 2. So 80% of $300 is $240, correct? So we will spend $240 on tier 1, okay? And then that will show our ads about 80,000 times, and we will probably get about 800 clicks granted. Fine. So out of these 800 clicks, 5% of them converted. Cool, right? Now, let's say that will make 40 orders and I'll make 2,000 in revenue. Now, remember one thing. We still have $60 left, right? Now, $60 will be spent on who? The 800 who clicks minus the 40 who actually purchase. So that makes a 760 people in audience size. Okay? So then I'm going to share with you the power of 20%. So what's the power of 20%? Okay, cool. So look, we are targeting 760 people with $60. You know what that means? That means these 760 people will be seeing your ads everywhere. They go to Facebook, they see you. They go to Instagram, they see you. They go to Facebook multiple times a day, they see you. They go to Instagram multiple times a day, they see you. But you actually do this only for the next 3 to 7 days because you know that's a conversion window. Just imagine. First thing first, right time. The moment they watch the video, the next time they come back to Facebook, they start seeing this ad, they start seeing this ad in a very high volume. What kind of impact it will bring to your brand? First thing first, they will think that, wow, this guy very rich, man. How can they spend so much money to get me see their ad everywhere? So that's a good impression. Now, second thing is when you're able to prime them in such way, do you think it's too much to ask for another 10% conversion from these people? Okay, you have your answer. Now, I want you to look at this. Another 10% conversion means another 76 orders. And that means another 3,800 in revenue. I mean, this happened before. It happened to a lot of my students and my clients. I mean, of course, not everybody will see up to this, but definitely it will get you better results. That's what I want to highlight to you. So, two choices over here. Scenario one is you spend $300 and get $2,500 in revenue. Scenario two is you spend $300 the same, but you break it into $240 in tier one, $60 in tier two, and you make potentially more than double from the campaign. Which one you want? So that's the whole thing about the two-step funnel, and I think it's really important for you to start understanding about the strategy that I'm talking about here. You want to come in with the right framework that will get you the most out of your ads budget. So a few key concepts I want you to take away from this one. Okay, first thing first, a few things you need to learn. Okay, you need to learn how to exclude your audiences strategically, meaning once a person have taken action, you want to push them out from the campaign. Okay, so that's a very important thing. You need to push them out. You need to learn how to actually structure this campaign in a way that you are able to push people out from the campaign. Now, the second thing is you need to learn how to plan and optimize a retargeting campaign, which is like, first thing first, we talk about the duration, the conversion window for how long, right? So, and what are the audience that you want to retarget? You want to, let's say if you want to use a video, do you want to retarget for 3 seconds and onwards, or you want to go for 25%? That we need to plan strategically. And the third thing is, in fact, starting a campaign is the easiest thing. What comes next is the most interesting part, which is we talk about analyzing. How do we know if your campaign is working? How do we know if your audience is working? How do we know if your creative is working? Okay, how do we optimize when we have a good campaign? How do we actually do better with it? How do we actually get more result out of it? How do we actually make more money essentially from our campaign? Okay, so that's the thing. Now, who wants to learn this technique? Okay, so if you are watching up to now, even if you're watching the replay, I think you are totally ready to start advertising. You can actually go and do it on your own and start exploring, or you can actually learn from this program that I have. Well, this is the Winning Facebook Ads Academy. It's my latest Facebook Ads training program, whereby this is really, in my opinion, it's a 7-hour-long, program. We have 7 modules. You have lifetime access to this thing, okay? And you can actually learn from anywhere, anytime. It's an online program. It's already recorded. It's there. The video is there. You can actually learn anytime you want. So in my opinion, this covers everything you need to know to create a winning Facebook ads. Okay, so I just want to quickly give you this normal price first. The normal price is $197. Okay, I mean, this is just the normal price. You know, you're here when we talk about normal price means you're gonna get some bonuses out of this, right? Anyway, let's talk about let's look at what we have in the Winning Facebook Ads Academy. Now, the first module we have here is what we call the art of objective selection. Okay, the art of objective selection gives you the idea about, I will actually walk through each and every one of the objectives available in the Ads Manager. And of course, we have updated with the ODAX. But even ODAX also, each and every one of the objectives, you need to have a better understanding. So that will give you that. Like when you should be using reach and when you should not be using reach. Okay, how can you use conversion? Let's say if you have a new website, what kind of conversion you should start with? Should you go for conversion or traffic? So these are the questions that we'll be addressing in the module 1. Basically to help you gain clarity about our usage of each objective. So that's the module 1. You need to go through this because this is one of the main pillars, right? So that's the objective selection. Now the second one is what we call the audience targeting strategies. I didn't go to the Ads Manager because I can't, but seriously, there are a few strategies that I've been using in the past many years. And we have just updated with our, a training that we just did together with our Jason Nation members. Who are Jason Nation members? Say hi. Anyway, so the audience targeting strategies that you can actually use to find the right people for your Facebook ads campaign. That's another pillar that we talk about, right? How do we know if we are getting the right audience? How do we actually find the right audience? What are the techniques that we can do to pinpoint our right audience? These are all the questions that we'll be answering over here. So that's module 2. Okay, so module 3, all right, mastering Facebook Ads Manager. This is where we really dive into the Ads Manager, because as you know, the Ads Manager is quite complicated for those who have started it. And even some seasoned Facebook advertisers, they probably will find some features or tools a bit intimidating and not sure how to use it. So this part, the module 3, is we're going to take a deep dive into the Ads Manager and walk you through on each and every one of the features and elements in there. So it really give you the idea about how you can actually do this and navigate these two in a very effective way. And module 4 is where we talk about the custom audience. I always say this: a Facebook advertisers that do not master custom audience is not a good Facebook advertiser. So this is a very essential thing you have to dive into and really master. Okay, so that's how this is really important, and we take a deep dive into this custom audience. All right, and module 5 is, we call this the anatomy of the winning ad. So this is where I dissect some advertisement examples, and I will tell you what they have done right, what they have done wrong, what can you learn from the right ones, what can you avoid from the mistakes that the wrong ones has made. So to give you a very clear idea about how can you create Facebook ads campaign that works, they will work well to get you the optimum result. Okay, and module 6, which is very important. This is, I actually have a few examples on this one to walk you through. I think, okay, now if you are selling on Shopee or Lazada, or if you are an affiliate marketer, I have a module to walk you through. When I say walk through, means I walk you through step by step in setting up the 2-step funnel. Now, tier 1, how do we set? Tier 2, how do we set? In Ads Manager, how do we set the audience targeting and all that? How do we set up the campaign? So I have example on Shopee and Lazada and affiliate. I have example of lead gen and messages. Let's say if you're a lead gen business, and if you're running an e-commerce website or your own e-commerce website, or you have CPaaS access, you can actually learn from this as well. So module 6 is actually very powerful. I have 3 examples, which I believe covers most of the situations over here. And module 7, now this is one of them, the training that I'm really proud of. We call this the numbers that matter. So this is where I will walk you through how to read and analyze your Facebook ads data, and how do we find optimization opportunities. Of course, we have another higher level kind of advanced one, but here you start with this. Advanced one, when you're more ready, then you can actually explore that. But here, this is good enough. If you're a new Facebook advertiser, this will help you gain clarity on the fundamental metrics that you need to learn to start. Okay, so this is it. The Winning Facebook Ads Academy covers 7 modules, from objective selection to audience targeting, to Ads Manager walkthrough, custom audience, like ads design and copywriting, setting up 2-step funnel, and essentially the numbers that matter. So 7 modules, lifetime access. Okay, this is where you can actually start doing it right with your Facebook ads campaign. But here's the thing: learning is one thing, getting your questions answered is another thing, correct? So who wants to be coached by me? Here's the thing. Okay, if you need help, you can actually consider taking this up. We have this one-on-one Facebook ads audit, but essentially, this is a half an hour session, a Zoom call for half an hour, essentially for me to dive into your Facebook ads campaign and see what have you done right or wrong in your Facebook ads campaign. Or you can ask me any questions. Okay, this is just you and me, all right? And you can ask me anything you want, or you can ask me to look at anything you already have, so that I can give you useful sharing or useful information or useful suggestions about how you can actually do better with your Facebook ads campaign. Same thing. The normal price for this is also $197, but because you're here with me tonight, or if you're watching the replay in time before the offer expires, right? So I'm gonna actually offer you something very special, because these 2 things adds together. It's $197 plus $197, all in all total is $394, right? So currently on my website, the offer is this, okay? Half price, all right? But don't go and buy it. This is the special offer for you who are watching this. Really, this is a very limited time offer. I'm actually offering this at even lower, which is at $97. Okay, what are you getting? You're getting the training, 7-hour-long training for lifetime access, even in the future when there are updates. Like recently, we just did the audience targeting update, and recently we just did the ODEX update. It's all in there already. So, you get updates from time to time, and you have lifetime access to it, and you can share with your team. Doesn't matter, I don't mind. And the one-on-one will actually help you, better by answering your questions after you have learned through it and you probably have implemented it. So this is where we can actually dive into it. So for these two things at only $97. So here's how you do. Basically, the offer will end really soon. If you want to actually get these two things coming together, all you need to do is go to tribeacademy.com/TWFAA, okay, /TWFAA, and use code TWFAA100 at checkout. Actually, as simple as that. All right, TWFAA and use code TWFAA100 at checkout. So this is the offer is expiring soon because you got to use the code. If you're watching the replay, maybe 1 year later, try. We might or we might not. I'm not sure. Okay, even though by the time the offer has changed, you can still see the description and see what's the updated offer anyway. If you're watching this slightly later, but nonetheless, if you're in time right now, you're watching this, you probably want to grab this offer right away. And the most beautiful thing about this thing is you have 7-day money back guarantee. You can just pay the money, just come in, go through that, and you find this, oh, I don't think this is useful, I want my money back, just drop us an email, we will give your money back. So here's the offer. Just go to tribeacademy.com/TWFAA and use code TWFAA at checkout. So yeah, I mean, here's the quick question for you guys. If you keep doing what you're doing right now, where will you be in the next 3 months? That's the question I have. So basically, you can actually try. Like I said, all these can be learned on your own. Like I actually learned this myself, and a lot of my students over here actually learn this themselves. But then again, you might be wasting time and money essentially, and the opportunity to make more money for your business if you're learning this. But you can actually have another choice, which is, well, you have spent 1 hour and a half with this guy up to now. Even if you're watching the replay, that's 1.5 hours already. So you probably find this guy convincing, and he speaks, he doesn't speak nonsense. He actually speaks something quite sensible, and you like his strategy, you like his method. I mean, just pay $97 as a risk-free investment, because if you just come in, well, if you don't like it, you can just get your money back. Remember, we have 7-day money back guarantee. All you need to do is go to tribeacademy.com/TWFAA and use code TWFAA100 at checkout. That you can actually save $100 from the offer that is already in there. So that's how you can start Facebook advertising right. So that's my promise in this workshop, which is how can you start advertising right in like current time, and how do you actually get the most out of Facebook advertising for your business. All right, so that's what I have for today. Okay, I'm just gonna come back real quick. Thank you so much for joining me, and for those who are really like joining me up to now. And Chiwai said, two-step funnel change your advertising journey. I'm glad. It's really powerful, and a lot of students are actually seeing very good results from there. Okay, and Chiwai, yes, Chiwai is my Jason Nation members. All right, there you go. You have this thing, elbow cough. I don't know what the hell is that, but anyway. And Charles is also my Jason Nation members. Jason Nation members is another thing. If you have been advertising for a while, if you have gone through my training, and if you want continuous support from me and the community that we have over here, you can actually go to tribeacademy.com/JasonNation to join. The Jason Nation, which is my inner circle. We do interesting things in there. Like we have weekly meeting, we have monthly meeting, we have monthly free training and stuff like that. But nonetheless, you can actually just go over and and check it out. Okay, Kevin. Wow, thank you, Kevin. In Mandarin anyway. So Chiwai said it's the emoji. Okay, cool. That's why moving forward, we're gonna do more things on YouTube. If you watch up to now, remember, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you make sure you do, and make sure you actually check the bell icon to make sure that every time we go live, you'll be notified. And in fact, we are launching something. We are launching a new show tomorrow. Yeah, a few things are coming your way, so it's gonna be fun. Right, and that's what we do. Like William said, you must sign up. All right, that's you must sign up. Thanks, William. Yeah, William is also a very close friend. William has been working with me for a few years now. Thanks, William. And with that, I think that wraps this one. Thank you everyone for joining me tonight. Thank you for making this a meaningful one. And yep, if you want to sign up, just go over to tribeacademy.com/TWFAA and make sure you use code TWFAA100 at checkout. So that's what you do. All right. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Good night. Bye.